Horizon Devices Apex Preamp. I've been dragging my feet about making this video. Have you ever expected one thing and then when you got it, it was really different and you didn't like it?
Meow?
That's the Apex in this case. Now, before this was released this year, last year, a bunch of big metal and rock YouTubers were all sent early versions of it and they all tried it out. And when I was watching their videos, I did notice something that seemed odd. A bunch of these guys, instead of using it as a preamp, were actually using it in front of an amplifier more as a distortion pedal. And I thought, well, that's weird. It's a preamp. It's not supposed to be a distortion pedal, but they all got good sounds out of it. And then I got my hands on it, and it sounded not great. Very meh. Not the worst distortion sound I've ever heard, but pretty unremarkable. And like dull, muddy, and even with the tight on, and I couldn't figure out why. And it kind of dawned on me, I think that's why all those other YouTubers use it in front of the amp. They were able to shape it more, add more brightness in, get more tightness to it, more mid-punch, and make it actually sound good, because as a preamp, it's not good. It has a couple of things that I'm going to talk about before we get into the sound examples. The volume knob. Now, you'd think, like with all the other preamp pedals I've demoed on here and compared, the volume knob is a master volume, more loud, less loud. Now, they do something that's actually kind of interesting that would have been good with the addition of a master volume knob, but the volume almost seems to just boost kind of how much of your signal is hitting it almost. And I say that because once you get to a certain point, it stops increasing the volume and starts like hitting the pedal harder, and it starts like farting out and breaking up and getting really quacky and harsh, and the volume isn't actually going up. It's just how much it's hitting the pedal is going up, and it's blowing it out, and it's just not good. And because I can't really adjust the volume past a certain point, this pedal is like half the volume of all the other preamp pedals I've got to use from other companies. It made it really hard to record with, to mix with, especially when I was doing that big pedal shootout between all the preamps. I had to massively raise the volume on that pedal just to make sure that it was the same level as everything else, so they all fit together. Now let's get to the cabs. Another thing is, it's supposed to be a preamp. That's why they include the cab sim. This is supposed to be a unit where you could gig with it. It should be a fly rig kind of thing, or it should be something you can sit down and record with, demo with, all in one unit. That's how it's being sold on their websites. It's this all-in-one unit, all-encompassing preamp. And this cab sim doesn't do it. It's got a cool kind of idea where you can kind of sweep across where the speaker is. You can sweep across kind of the tone and you hear that, but it's, I think, the worst sounding cab sim I've ever heard built into a pedal. I could be wrong. I mean, old Line 6 stuff does exist, but wow, is it not good. You're going to hear it in the mix. It's going to be a pretty harsh transition in the mix, and then you'll hear it when I'm just doing everything on its own. I can't recommend this pedal. I actually strongly recommend you buy almost anything else other than this. I know this isn't going to gain me any favors with Horizon Devices. I like their precision drive. I've been using it for years. I think it's a great overdrive. Been a big part of my sound for a long time. I'm looking forward to that like delay reverb thing that they're coming out with. I'm sure that'll be great. Misha and the guys from Periphery have incredible delay, reverb, clean ambient tones. But I just cannot recommend this. I don't think it's good. So let's get to the tones. I'm using the pedal going directly into my Focusrite 18i20 with a cab sim. It's an IR of my Mesa 2x12 with vintage 30s, mic'd with an SM57. Yeah.